But I am pretty good, and anybody who knows me knows that there really is no no in my life. Whatever it's gonna be, I'm gonna figure it out. I don't care if it's one no, I don't care if it's 50 no's. There's gonna be a way. And this back before cell phones and Google, there was the library. And let me tell you, the library had all the answers. And I was a master in the library. I lived there literally till they kicked me out. They knew me. So I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. And they helped me, of course, but I had to find the research, had to find the papers, I had to look up state laws and state regulations and college admissions and college policies and what they were. And long story short, I walked into the principal's office with copies, back when they were only 1 cent, by the way, highlighted, dog-eared, stapled. I threw it on. I probably shouldn't have thrown it on, but I threw it on his desk and I said, I'm graduating high school. Here's what you may not know. This is why I'm going to do it. Oh, and by the way, I did register for the test. I was accepted, so I won't see you after next month. So I did graduate high school early. Yes. The second thing was I had to teach the college how their acceptance policy was. So after, again, long research, policies, procedures, acceptances, exceptions, I was like, hey, I am allowed to register, I am allowed to apply, and you are allowed to accept me, which I talked to several professors and they would be happy to help, and they would be happy to accept me because I'm an engineer and a physics major. I taught myself calculus at 8 years old. Trust me, you're gonna want me here. So they accepted me. Then there was financial aid. This is funny. They declined my financial aid. And I thought, that's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. So I went and talked to them and I said, what's going on? You must have me confused with somebody. They said, no, you were denied financial aid because there's nobody on earth that could possibly live on this income. Oh. And I thought, that's why I'm here. People like, wouldn't it make sense to give financial aid to somebody who needs financial aid? And they said, well, someone must be helping you. We need their tax returns, which there was none. So there weren't, I couldn't even ask a favor to take somebody's tax return who wasn't supporting me. I didn't know anybody. So I had to figure out how to pay for college, a private college, by the way, at 16 years old, which I did. The business was really challenging too. Who wants to hire a 16-year-old? Do you know how many no's I got? A lot. I don't even know how many. I'm like, whatever you want me to do, take out the garbage, clean the toilets, do stapling, do copying, I can do this. And when I finally got my first yes, it was because I said this. I promise you, you will not regret having me help you, because I will exceed all your expectations, whether you know it now or not. And I knew that about myself. I didn't have to convince myself. I already knew that, but how do I share that information with other people? And then I thought, well, tell them. Right? And it worked. So today, over 35 years later, I've helped Fortune 500 companies. I've gone and helped 13 international countries rebuild their economic and financial infrastructure. I've helped thousands of small businesses. But this is why it's important for you, because there are 4 key principles that will create success in your business, your career, and your life forever. The first principle is your brain is not your best friend. And here's why. There are lots of research statistics with Stanford and Harvard that say as soon as you write down your goals, literally hand to pen, not computer, hand to pen to paper, you're 40% to 60% more likely to achieve your goals. It doesn't matter what's in your brain. It's wishy-washy in there sometimes. Sometimes you're excited, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're committed, sometimes you're not. Write it down. The second principle is fear is your friend. And here's why. Bear with me now. When you get up in the morning and you walk to the bathroom, are you afraid to pee? Usually? No, right? Are you afraid to brush your teeth? Are you afraid to take a shower or get dressed? You're not brave by doing all of those things. You already know how to do it. But here's the thing, when you change the perspective of what fear is what you need to be brave. Fear is not the absence of bravery, which is a quote, and I don't know who said it, but I love it, one of my favorite. You can't be brave without being fearful on some level. Afraid to make the first phone call, afraid to send the email, afraid to ask the guy out, right? Whatever it is, you have to be brave. In order to be brave, you have to have fear. So when you change your perspective and go, oh my gosh, I am afraid, you should say, good job, I'm growing, I'm moving, I'm being brave, let's do it, let's bring it on. So that's the second thing. The third thing is bigger is not better. And what I mean is when it comes to action. When we have goals, no matter how small or how big, I think one of the common misconceptions is that we have to take big steps towards our goals. And that's just not true. That's when we get stuck in our own brain. That's when small steps are really important. Small steps, not big steps, small steps. They can be as small as writing something on a piece of paper or a sticky note, an affirmation, and put it on your mirror. That could mean doing a 10-minute Google search. That could mean sending an email, making a phone call. That could mean brainstorming, like how am I going to X, Y, and Z? Well, what could be some of the options that I can do, right? Small steps do a lot of things. First of all, it creates momentum, creates commitment, and it creates movement towards your goal, no matter how small they could be. If you have a 5-year goal and you get it done in 1, great. If you have a 5-year goal and you get it done in 7, great. So I want to leave you with this. What can you do today? Today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. What can you do today in your life that will get you closer to the goals and success that you already have in you? What would that be? Thank you so much.